Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we just had our first little mud boss practice. Learned a lot. My first thing I learned is that you're going to tear stuff up every race. Not much, but you're going to tear stuff up. We had a front shock shaft that got bent, so we invested in a couple shock shafts and a new set of shocks so we can quickly change setups out there when we're running. When we first got out there, the car worked great. It was loose, a lot of loose dirt. As the track came around, started to get harder. Loose dirt started to get moved off the main groove. It started to push and slide. So the first setup had 15 millimeters of spacers in it. It was too much for, it was good for the loose dirt, too much for the hard pack. Now we have a 4-inch or 4 millimeter setup in here with all the way around, and we put 30 weight oil in here because it seems to need to be able to roll a little bit more. Some of the things that we did do that changed up is I went to the different style, the KM2, I think the BF Goodrich style tires that we're going to try next. They're all S1s, but it seems to work better if you have a combination of the S3s and the S1s. Guys were doing that out there. It seemed to really work. Some of the other things that we made a change with is just the way the car overall just handles. And what I mean by that is this tire here should be towed out a lot more. That way when it turns really far, quite a bit. That helps a lot. So that's one of the things I also learned. We took the gray hub adapter off of here, put a black one in here, shortens it up a little bit, so it puts a lot more weight into the shock when you go into the curve. And we also moved that shock in one space here, which I'm going to try that. I had it on outside in the last one. So that's pretty much the setup as far as the suspension goes. One of the things I am going to build and change is right up here. You can see that there's a wide open spot. This side over here, I just had a piece of tape hanging down, which kept a lot of the dirt and mud and stuff out of the car. So I'll be building a little Lexan piece that's going to go cover some of this a little bit more, that attaches and stays with the body. I think that will help a lot. Even though the suspension was set up good, it was still grinding out on the body here on the right rear side. So got to watch that a little bit. I think it'll be a little less now that we raised the height of the car up. And you can see everything stayed pretty clean. They do have a compressor out there that we all used and compressed everything else. Running the SMC Mud Boss battery, did really well. Lasted good. Gearing on this bad boy is, I think it's 2686 if I remember correctly. And this is the brushless system. Guys, the motor didn't get hot. It doesn't do really, didn't do anything. Sorry about that, put my finger over the lens. I would say there was nothing that I didn't like about the BL2S system. I didn't do any changes in the radio, really nothing in the radio, and not yet at least. I will do a couple things maybe to help going into the curves and stuff, but I was able to just tap the brakes real quick going into the curve, get the back end loose just a little bit, and then kind of power curve or power spin, whatever you want, out of the corner. And the problem with that was when the weight shifted to this left rear tire, I would start fishtailing. So we added some spacers over here, a little bit to the right rear, took the spacers out of the front, and that I think will help this tire here grip a little bit more. And I think with this tire being turned out more, 3 degrees of camber, and over here, it's when the car goes this way, it's pulling up, pushing this tire up. When the car goes this way, the tire's bent over too far, where it's just leaning on this edge here, which that's what kind of causes some of the fish tailing. So I'm gonna try what some of the guys said about leaving this out, but I think that's gonna hurt me because of the way I drive more than anything else. So we'll have to see. Other than that, I mean, the car did really good. Seemed to be the weak spot is the hubs in the back. Everybody seemed to break those. I didn't break one. Battery, tried the battery forward and backwards. So early in the night, the battery being farther forward seemed to do a little bit better because it was loose. And then as it got harder, I tried it in the back, and then I kind of pushed it forward. So it's kind of a trade-off there. So I might actually cut the foam in half and try the battery right in the middle next. I think that's going to be the next thing I'm going to try. One of the things we are going to do before we go out there next time is I'm going to shorten these wires on the ESC as short as I can because they're so small. And then I'm going to keep these heavier duty wires as long as I can because they're heavier. We're going to go to an XT90 on here just because you don't need it, but I just want an XT90 on here. It's just easier for me with my hands to grab them. Has nothing to do with performance. And that's pretty much it for this part of the car. Went to Hobbytown, grabbed some nice parts. Thank you guys, Austin, Bryce, Michael, appreciate the help. And Eric for checking me out. The new shocks I got didn't come with the little silver balls on the bottom, so you'll need that. There's your little part number if you guys need it. The shocks, the only thing that's different about these shocks, they're black versus gray. They're only black versus gray. That's the only difference. And that's what they had in stock, so that's what I bought. We got some Protec front bearings because my front bearings sound like they got sand in them, and I could see them visually kind of grabbing and getting hung up out on the track. So cutting the seals out of these bearings and doing that was a mistake on that track because it's so sandy. So I'm going to put regular ball bearings back in there so I don't have that problem again. Car's green, so we got some green shock caps. It's one of the things you're allowed to change. So, and then we got some battery connectors. So that's what we're working on. Can't change spring rates. These shocks, and I want to go over that a little bit, is I just built these shocks yesterday, and this is what I hate about them. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there's oil all over them. That's why I got the shock caps. I hate these shocks. They are a pain in the to build, and I don't really care for them. So I really hope that at some point they'll let us get rid of these just because they just leak. I would like to have a set of other shocks that are rebuildable that are aluminum housing. That way we don't have to keep dealing with this all the time. It's not fun for anybody, not an experienced, not a new person, anybody. So hopefully we'll change the rules on that, but we'll see. I don't make the rules, I just hope. Other than that, I think I'm going to start working on a sprint car. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what brand yet because, as you guys know, I'm an R1 sponsored drag driver. And then we do testing for Castle in the speedrun world. So I have to make sure that I don't cross over into those worlds and keep them separate. So, and go with a competitor's car. I can't do that. So I have to try to color in the lines and stay within something that's not going to cross those lines with either one of those companies, because I surely appreciate their support and their help and their backing. Without them, we couldn't do this. Same thing with other sponsors, Get Stuck, and SMC, Castle Creations, BSR Tires, Scorched RC, Perfect Pass. I mean, all you guys. If I miss somebody, I'm sorry. Delta Plastics. really appreciate all you guys' help, and without you guys, the K family wouldn't be doing this, because we are into everything. We got races all the time. So with everything, we're doing something constantly. So without you guys viewing, also, and helping us, giving us feedback, stuff like that, we wouldn't do it either. So appreciate that. That's it today for the Mud Boss. We're going to keep talking about this and stuff, since that's so popular in this area. And, as the guys figure out stuff, or as we figure out stuff, and people don't mind sharing their setups with me, don't mind sharing them with you guys, but I will not share people's setups that do not give me permission to share them. Me, however, anything I find out and work on my cars, I will share it, because I'm an open book. I want the competition. I want to see it come down to the driver, not the car. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.